The great failed romances of the 20th century. Someone's gotta show you how they went down. The great failed romances of the 20th century. You can learn the truth if you just stick around.
Welcome to the Great Failed Romances of the 20th Century. I'm singer, songwriter, and historian Teddy Gray.
And I'm Sam Kaufman, River Deep and Mountain High. I'm Sam Kaufman. So Teddy, which couple will we be talking about today?
Today on the docket is Ike and Tina Turner.
Oh, what's love got to do with them?
Evidently, not very much.
Born as Anna Mae Bullock in 1939, Tina Turner had a difficult childhood. After her parents' divorce, she lived with her grandmother for numerous years, and one of her only sources of joy was singing in the local church choir, where she developed a love of music.
Throughout her teens, she frequented nightclubs and would often attend concerts, being excited by the possibility of a career in music. In 1957, she first saw Ike Turner perform at the Manhattan Club, and describes herself as falling under a trance as she watched him play. From that point on, she was determined to sing with Ike's band.
Ike Turner had already made a name for himself, backed up by his band, the Kings of Rhythm. Sometimes during gigs, he would hand off the microphone to a particularly excited female fan in the crowd, and one night that fan happened to be Anna Mae Bullock. After hearing her sing B.B. King's You Know I Love You, Ike was so impressed that he had Tina sing the rest of the set, and not long after, had her join the band full-time.
I was once handed the microphone at a Coldplay concert, but apparently they didn't appreciate being told that they fucking suck.
For the record, I like Coldplay.
Wow. Taking an episode about Ike and Tina Turner and turning it into a discussion on the merits of Coldplay. We really are as white as they come.
Soon after, Tina proved her worth to the group and had become the lead vocalist. Ike, acting as both her mentor and vocal coach, suggested that she change her name to Tina Turner, and she obliged, excited by the prospects of receiving top billing alongside Ike.
Soon, the band had been rebranded as the Ike and Tina Turner Revue, and with Tina's undeniable star power, the group quickly jumped onto the charts, first scoring a hit in 1960 with the song A Fool in Love. How apt that title would prove to be.
While Tina later confessed to initially finding Ike extremely unattractive, she admitted that she was impressed by his voice and musical chops, and the amount of time the two spent together had begun to blossom into a romantic partnership.
As the two's star continued to rise, so did their feelings for each other, and in 1960, Tina gave birth to Ike's child. The two later married in Tijuana in 1962. Being mostly a touring act throughout the first half of the 60s, Ike and Tina began to find more mainstream success as the decade progressed, working with Phil Spector and releasing the classic track River Deep, Mountain High.
But as their careers hit new highs, their marriage was hitting new lows. Throughout their 16 years together, Ike was verbally and physically abusive to Tina, and in retrospect, their marriage seems more like a hostage situation than anything.
When Tina told Ike her reservations about going on tour so soon after giving birth, Ike responded by striking her in the head with a wooden shoe stretcher. His tendency to respond to his wife's objections with violence became more regular as their time together progressed. His relentless abuse, as well as unapologetic cheating, led to Tina attempting suicide in 1968, overdosing on Valium.
Got a joke for that one, Sam?
I'm good.
The abuse that Ike put Tina through could fill up multiple episodes, and it's been detailed and documented in numerous books, documentaries, and biopics. Over the nearly 2 decades they spent together, there was certainly no shortage of hit singles. However, they paled in comparison to the number of disturbing stories regarding Ike's behavior. Tina had needed to escape for years, but found herself unable to do so, fearing for both her life and her career if she managed to leave Ike once and for all.
In 1976, after Ike began to abuse Tina in a cab ride back to their hotel, Tina found herself doing something she had never done up to that point: fighting back. Instead of screaming and waiting for it to be over, she actually retaliated against Ike, scratching his face and hitting him with her shoe. Something inside her had been broken, and it was clear that she couldn't take another day of this hell.
On July 1st, 1976, she fled the Dallas Statler Hilton Hotel with only 36 cents and a mobile credit card in her pocket, and never looked back. Within a few weeks, she had filed for divorce and was finally a free woman.
Are we back to the lighter stuff now?
Almost, Sam, almost. Hang in there.
While Tina Turner was able to cement herself as a solo star and distance herself from the Ike and Tina years, Ike found this much more difficult. And as Tina continued to top the charts with new directions and new legions of fans, Ike slid further and further into drug abuse and obscurity. In 1990, he was sentenced to 4 years in prison for drug possession and claimed that the jail time was a wake-up call for him to clean up his act.
After being released, Ike got sober, returned to live performance, and even released 2 new albums, one of which won a Grammy for Best Blues Album in 2007. Wow, way to pick a winner, guys. Was R. Kelly not in the running that year?
Ike relapsed in 2004 and died at the age of 76 in 2007. His legacy is a complicated one. While he's credited as one of the godfathers of rock and roll, his abusive behavior has overshadowed his innovations and songwriting achievements.
For Tina Turner, however, her legacy has never been in question. With a hit Broadway show based on her life recently running, and her hit songs being as big as they ever were, her status as the Queen of Rock seems secure.
Thankfully, she even managed to have a second chance at love, marrying her longtime boyfriend Erwin Bach in 2013, and moving to Sweden with him for her retirement. And when asked about her marriage to Ike in a recent interview, Tina stated that, "I don't know if I could ever forgive all that Ike did to me, but Ike's dead, so we don't have to worry about him."
And that's better than any dumb joke the two of us could ever come up with. But we'll sure try.
What do you get when you cross a chicken with a...
So, Teddy, tell us a little about the song. I really hope you're not the one singing it.
Don't worry, I'm not.
Whew.
This song is called Like I Mean It, and it peeks in on a fictional studio session for Ike and Tina, where after being yelled at one too many times, Tina chooses to finally let loose and fight back through song, announcing that she can take this marriage no longer. Sung by the wonderful Jack Colquitt, Like I Mean It is a cry of freedom inspired by the heroic story of one of our greatest living rock vocalists.
Fictional, huh? So you're just putting these real people in made-up situations? What do you think, you're God?
Look, Tina herself said that Ike's dead, so we don't have to worry about him.
Unless he comes back from the dead. Bet you didn't think of that one, did ya?
Alright, relax, Sam, because you made it. We're out of the woods.
Thank God, that one was heavy.
Well, I got good news for you then. Next week's episode is about Vanilla Ice and Madonna.
Oh yes! I can make jokes about them for days, like, oh, Madonna, why do you have a British accent? You're not from British. Or like, oh, Vanilla Ice, what's your kid's name? Rocky Road. Or, you know, not those exactly, but something like that.
Enjoy Like I Mean It.
No mountain I can't climb with my baby by my side. There's no cross to bear, no storm that we can't weather. Until the day I die, it's me and you, it's you and I. Oh, who needs today when you found your forever? And if I'm running out...
Tina, you know it's not gonna work for me. You gotta sing it like I told you to sing it, with grit, like your life depended on it. It's a love song, girl. You gotta mean it. Ah, boys. Take it from the top.
Oh, like I mean it. This time I mean it. 1, 2, 3, 4. I could imagine a life for us after today. I'd stifle the anger, I'd harness the pain. I'd say yes, sir, and keep pretending. But when I imagine you gasping for breath on the floor, I'm gearing up for another retort. I can see my happy just to watch me say goodbye.
The great failed romances of the 20th century. Someone's gotta show you how they went down. The great failed romances of the 20th century. You can learn the truth if you just stick around.